Hello. I have two gigantic vinyl videos that I need to do because I have all this stuff piled up and I want to put it away. I want to alphabetize it. That gives me great joy, just putting it all on the shelf and looking at it. But it also gives me shame as well because I do think there is an addictive element to this, that whole endorphin thing. But I guess there are worse things to be addicted to. Quite a few actually. But yeah, no. I mean, I've been buying way too much vinyl, but that's actually going to be in the next video. This video is about all the vinyl I found in my spooky basement. This is vinyl that I collected largely during COVID, right before COVID, and it was all downstairs, and I've managed to excavate it and bring it up here so I can add it to the collection. So I have a massive pile here that goes like up to my shoulder and down to the desktop. So we're just gonna blast through it. All right. So this is less embarrassing than the one that's gonna come because this I amassed over the course of several years. All right. There's a lot of record store day stuff in here, and this is one of them. This is Warmer, uh, Jeff Tweedy's kind of companion record to his solo record More. Um, I believe when this came out on Record Store Day, this was the only way you could hear this. It wasn't like on streaming or anything yet. It's a nice record. All right. This is quite possibly my favorite Low album, at least until Hey What came out. You have to say it loud because it's all capitals. Um, but yeah, I mean, they're very different albums. Hey What is like kind of more I don't know, I guess abrasive is the right word. It's like an intense emotional album, and this is I would say kind of minimalistic and creepy. I really enjoy it. Um and it's got this insert in here, so that's nice. This is one of the first pieces of vinyl I ever bought. This Pete Townsend, Ronnie Lane team up record, Rough Mix. This has Heart to Hang On To, which is, one of Pete's best solo songs ever. It's got a beautiful cover of Till the Rivers All Run Dry. It's a very nice album. Harold and Maude soundtrack by Cat Stevens. Uh, this was kind of like the first time this was collected because he didn't write a lot of songs for Harold and Maude. Like he wrote a couple, but they used a lot of his like pre-existing material too. So this is kind of the first time it's all been compiled together. And as much as I just really like listening to Cat Stevens on his own, I think the best way to listen to him is honestly in the context of Harold and Maude. Like they just use his music so beautifully in that movie. And also this is on, yeah, it's on orange vinyl. There you go. So it's another record store day thing. All right, what do we got? Oh, this is another record store day one. This is random Pearl Jam EP they released for the song Alive, which it's not one of my favorites, but it is an important song in their legacy. And I don't know if you can see it on there, but you got like an etching of the Stick Man there, their little logo guy on the B side there. All right, this is a very nice, shiny copy of Attack on Memory by Cloud Nothings. This is an album I love very much. A very short record, only like 8 tracks. Really catchy songwriting, really emotional songwriting, and yeah, this comes on this nice translucent blue. Shiny. All right, this is weird. I think this is the first piece of vinyl I ever bought. Because I had before I collected vinyl, I had these friends at one of my previous jobs who were vinyl collectors, and they were just like, "Hey, you going to record store day?" And I was like, "Maybe I am. What is it?" And so they explained it to me, and I went, and I did not have a turntable, and I never bought a piece of vinyl in my life. But it was shortly after the this Spoon record had come out, Hot Thoughts, and they had this really kind of ugly looking single of it. And I was like, yeah, what the fuck? I want that. And I bought it. And now here we are. All right, this is the big old special edition of one of my favorite Me Without You records, Pale Horses. This is full of all kinds of stuff. First of all, you just got to appreciate the beautiful art in here. Like it's a triple gatefold. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I don't know if I'm showing it off well because when I hold it up, it's above my face and I can't see the camera. But I hope you got an idea of the majesty, and even on the sleeve itself there, and then the record itself is on this really cool multicolored splatter vinyl. Um, and it also comes with um this lovely booklet here, which contains lyrics and artwork. And this is fun. Like on the back here, they have like alternate titles for the album. And then this also comes with a like kind of an EP on CD where it has like some alternate versions and some songs that didn't make it on the record. And it's lovely. I enjoy having it in my house. All right. All right. Everybody calm down. I haven't even opened this one yet for some reason. Jonathan Richman usually has, at least like one record, that he's re-releasing every record store day, which is great because some of his stuff is real hard to find on vinyl. So this is um, Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers, 88. They had several kind of self-titled records, but this one's wonderful. It's got what was it got? Circle I when Harpo played his harp and you kind of neighborhood and love hot nights, blah blah blah. It's real nice, and I'm gonna fucking open it because it comes on blue vinyl, I do believe. Yeah, there it is. Maybe I'll listen to that tonight. All right, get the fuck in there. Okay, next one. The beautiful soundtrack to the film Prince Avalanche by Explosions in the Sky and David Wingo. Um, this one has really nice artwork too. There's the gatefold, there's the back, and is this on colored vinyl or anything? Well, it's got this nice inner sleeve regardless. And no, it's just on black. But yeah, this is a lovely score, and actually very underrated, really nice movie. If you get a chance to watch Prince Avalanche, it is one of David Gordon Green's better films, post like 2010. All right, and another soundtrack, Place Beyond the Pines by Mike Patton. I'm not a big like Mike Patton guy. This is like my favorite stuff he's done, which is weird, but I really just enjoyed the soundtrack to this film. And this is on translucent green vinyl. Oh, another one I haven't opened, Pressure Machine by The Killers. This is the best Bruce Springsteen album since Ghost of Tom Joad, I think. All right, this is Craig Finn compilation, all these perfect crosses. This is basically comes on two vinyl discs. And this is basically just a collection of B-sides and rarities from across his solo work. It's nice to have. This is just a random James Bond compilation with some of the score from Russia with Love and Dr. No and Goldfinger. Just a nice kind of vintage piece to have. I like it. This is my favorite Guided by Voices record, Under the Bushes, Under the Stars. And comes on 2 vinyl discs. And there is also an EP it comes with, but Lord knows where it is. It's in there somewhere. But yeah, this is my favorite album by my favorite band. So that probably means it's one of my favorite albums ever made. Check out Man Called Aerodynamics. Check out Official Iron Man Rally Song. Your Name is Wild. Bright Paper Werewolves. Underwater Explosions. It's so good. It's so good. Um, so this is one of 2 versions of Twin Fantasy by Car Seat Headrest. This is the original version. This was a Black Friday thing, and then they did a re-recorded version of this record many years later, which I think is even better, which I don't have on vinyl yet, but I will hopefully get soon. And nothing much on the inner sleeves, just like lyrics, normal black vinyl. All right, this is the first of many versions of Smile you're going to see, and this is just the official normal version. I got the big Smile box set that came with the CDs and the vinyl, and this is like the officially released, officially sanctioned version. And it comes with all kinds of stuff. It comes with nice photo book, and it comes with this insert here with a message from Brian Wilson. There. The actual disc itself, just black, but you can see it has kind of that classic Capitol Records label there. Um, eh, eh. And it also comes with this insert that just has, all the lyrics and gatefold. Eh. And I always loved, like, on the back here, they have the tracks, and these are in, like, completely random order. And they always are on, like, every edition of the album. This is just, like, not at all representative of, like, what's actually on the record. So that's fun. I love Smile very much. You know, I said that Under the Bushes, Under the Stars was my favorite album by my favorite band, but I think Smile is my favorite album by anyone ever, particularly Brian Wilson's version of Smile, which I have weirdly on CD but not on vinyl, which is, his definitive final version of the record. So I prefer that. I prefer the sense of achievement and, the triumphing over adversity you get when you listen to that record. It's very nice. But obviously, the original Beach Boys version, though unfinished, is incredible. William Shatner has been. Is this on any kind of special? Yeah, that's what I thought. Insert with the lyrics. And this is on this really cool translucent splatter vinyl there. William Shatner is mostly like making music, for the sake of comedy. At first, he was trying to be serious on like the Transform band, I'm pretty sure, and people took it as a joke. And so then he was like, "Hey guys, I was totally joking the whole time," kind of like what happened to like Tommy Wiseau post The Room and whatnot. But this he teamed up with Ben Folds, who was a guy who actually seemed to like believe in him and like thought he had some artistic potential. And yeah, this is like a genuinely good album. I think it's like a very personal album. There are like lyrics on here about his life and the things he's gone through that are like very cutting and real. And it has a really kick-ass cover of Common People by Pulp too. So check it out. Pet Sounds. Pet Sounds fucking sucks. Nobody likes it. Oh, couple of little record store day little 7-inch EP things. Got a nice Vertigo North by Northwest split there, Bernard Herrmann. And then a little 7-inch of Billie Eilish's theme from No Time to Die, which was my favorite James Bond theme in many moons. All right, here is our second version of Smile. Um, and this is a really cool set. I was very happy to get my hands on this one. Because, okay, so what does it come with here? It comes with, I'm going to turn off this fan so we can all appreciate the majesty. Okay, it comes with like reproductions of like studio notes where they're trying to like determine the track listing and stuff, and it comes with like these are reproductions of the session worksheets for like all the musicians who worked on the album. Like, I think this stuff is cooler than the stuff they included in the actual release. Then we got this big honkin' poster, which I'm not going to open because this is big. But then the actual record itself, this version of Smile, is a triple disc, and each is on a different color of translucent vinyl. So we got green, we got yellow, eh, and we got blue. Yeah, there you go. So this is one of the more extensive fan edits of Smile that came out. Has all kinds of extra kind of bonus tracks and extra versions, and you can see on the back here just how extensive this is. I'm gonna turn back on the fan because it is. I don't like being in this room. Uh, what is it? Yeah, it has like multiple versions of Good Vibrations. It has stuff that didn't make the record, like Love to Say Dada and She's Going Bald, and it has like just weird experiment shit like George Fell Into His French Horn and Tones Tune X. It's a really cool collection. They did an amazing job putting it together for an unofficial release. It's fantastic. Okay. And then we have some that are just like really beat to shit that I got for like $1, including this version of Quadrophenia. This is one of my favorite rock albums ever, so I'm definitely gonna get a non-beat to shit version of Quadrophenia eventually. But at least I have this in the meantime. Got It by Voices Propeller reissue. This is kind of the record that allowed Guided by Voices to like really, exist in the way that it does today, because Robert Pollard had been working as a school teacher and being in the band, like basically had two full-time jobs, and he just basically was like, I can't do this anymore, so I'm just going to make one more really incredible record and say what I need to say, and then I'll be done and I'll just be a teacher. And so he put all kinds of work into this, thinking it would be like the grand finale of the band. And then this is the one that caught on and allowed him to quit his teaching job and just become a rock icon slash legend. MGMT, congratulations. I know this record was like somewhat controversial at the time. Very simple. It's inserts, it's just lyrics. Um, I remember when this came out, like I really liked MGMT's debut, but I thought this was like, and I still think this is their best record, like kind of by far. I just really, really love this album. And I think kind of history has, turned around on it a bit, and I've kind of come to my way of thinking on it. Like I think it's much more acclaimed now than it was when it came out. Great record. This is Empty Horses by Tobin Sprout. Tobin's most recent record at the time of this filming, and quite possibly my favorite. I don't know. His first couple were great too, but this is just a really beautiful album. All right, we got another big honkin' Me Without You collection. This is my favorite Me Without You record. This is 10 Stories. It's a concept album about a circus train that crashes, and all the animals kind of team up and go in different directions. And so the album is about, focusing on each of these like pairs of animals and the adventures they get up to and the hardships they have to go through. So we just got this is just some artwork. This is like a big old poster of the cover here. We've got you know, we've got this art book here with some beautiful illustrations. The owl and the walrus and yeah, Bear's Vision of St. Agnes. That's a beautiful song. And then the vinyl itself, nice shade of blue, and the elephant and the fox you can see are revealed once you remove the vinyl disc there. And then this one is on purple splatter, and you got the rabbit and bear there hanging out. Such a cool album. Beautiful. Um, okay, so these are more random, like dollar store pickups. Ella Fitzgerald sings the Gershwin songbook. That doesn't seem like it could be bad. Who's next? More cheap beat to shit who. I will get a better copy of this eventually too. This is just a random McCartney interview disc from around the time he put out McCartney 2. Meh. We got some very random Henry Mancini in here. We got a Merry Mancini Christmas where he does a bunch of like medleys of classic Christmas songs. And then we got this one, the Academy Awards songs. These are mostly songs that he wrote, some songs that other people wrote, but they're all songs that won the Academy Award for Best Song. Um, oh yeah, and then we have Jesus Sound Explosion, which I have not listened to, and I will probably never listen to, and I don't even know what's on it and what it sounds like. I just bought it because it's called Jesus Sound Explosion. You know, I should really put this on my wall. Get a frame for that. Beat the shit copy of Aftermath by the Rolling Stones, probably the first genuinely great Rolling Stones record. Their first that was all originals. Not most of their albums before this were like half original, half like blues R&B covers. This is the self-titled Velvet Underground record, beautiful record. I've spent a long time trying to figure out if this is my favorite record of theirs or if Loaded is. And they're like such different albums and they both have such unique strengths. They're basically tied in my head. But this one's super pretty if you haven't heard it. I mean, Pale Blue Eyes, Candy Says, I'm Set Free, After Hours. It's gorgeous. This is broadcast of Orson Welles' version of War of the Worlds that he did on the radio, where apparently everybody was freaked out and they thought it was real. So that's nice to have for historical reasons. Oh, this is another really early one I bought. This is Hamilton Lighthouser and Rostam, formerly of Vampire Weekend. They recorded an album together. I got to get that album on vinyl. I actually don't have that, but this is a little EP they did live at KCRW where they did a bunch of songs from the album. It's a very good album. I highly recommend that. Very shiny, nice version of Boxer that the National recorded live in Brussels. They just did a show where they played the whole album through from beginning to end. Nice to have. Random beat the shit talking heads. Um, what the hell is this one? Little Creatures, right? Yeah, this is the one that has like Stay Up Late and As She Was, and it has Road to Nowhere, which is probably my favorite Talking Head song. This is my favorite Bob Dylan record, Desire. Um, this was kind of my two favorite records of Bob's are like pre and post divorce records. So this is like his pre-divorce, I don't want to get divorced. Please stick around and don't leave me record. And then this is his You Divorced Me and I'm Really Pissed at You record. So these two, they're a great companion. This isn't the original version of Blood on the Tracks. This is actually like it's like a fake test printing, but this is for some reason he basically recorded this album twice. And so this is the first version he recorded before he re-recorded and remixed a lot of it. And just the version of Idiot Wind on here is it's also released on bootlegs 1 through 3. It's my favorite recording of any song by anybody ever. Okay. Random Fontaines DC live album. Insert. Fontaines DC has kind of lost me on their past couple of records, but I'm hoping, I can definitely see them releasing something I'm going to be super into in the future. And I look forward to that day when it does arrive. Okay, this is a Jim James solo album, Uniform Clarity. I actually have two copies of this, which we'll get into later. But yeah, it comes on white vinyl. Yeah, this was basically he put out a solo album called Uniform Distortion that I wasn't that hot on. Like I thought it was okay. And then he released a solo acoustic version of it called Uniform Clarity, with all the same songs, just acoustically done. And I thought it was wonderful. I thought it was kind of the way the song should be. And so this is definitely my preferred version. But I did end up getting like a hybrid version that has both the electric and acoustic versions on it. And we'll get to that someday. This little Van Morrison EP, Record Store Day EP of alternate takes from Astral Weeks. It's got alternate takes of Madame George and Ballerina Beside You and Slim Slow Slider, which is my personal favorite Astral Weeks song, so that is very nice to have. Soft Bullet and Companion, another Record Store Day thing. This contains a lot of kind of B-sides and alternative mixes and stuff from the Soft Bullet and era, which, is, I think, when the Flaming Lips were at their absolute best. And it also has a lot of tracks. I don't think it has everything, but it has most of the songs from Zyreka, kind of mixed down. Which Zyreka, if you don't know, the only way to listen to that album was to play 4 CDs at the same time. So I never really listened to it. So having this version of it is very convenient. This is another Jonathan Richman Record Store Day re-release, Having a Party. This is one of my absolute favorites of his. It's got like My Career as a Home Wrecker on here, which is like one of his darker songs. Like that's one of the things that's interesting about Jonathan is he does all this really happy upbeat music, but when he wants to do like a really kind of like dark crushing song, like he can sell the fuck out of it. Um some more these are kind of recent Guided by Voices. These are a couple of the best albums I think from the new lineup. So we've got Earthman Blues on here, which has Trust Them Now, and it's got a lot of it's a very entertaining record. I think it's supposed to be a concept album of some kind. I have no idea what the concept is. I should look into it. I think it's like they're like putting on a school play or something. I don't know. And this is my favorite release from the new lineup, Space Gun. This is just like wall to wall bangers. I think it's like absolutely fantastic. It's one of their most consistent albums ever, and I think easily the best thing they've recorded since the first time they broke up, like way back in 2004, in my opinion. I have something in my eye. That's fun. Um, Random Batman and Robin final. Gotta have it. Penguins on the back. Oh yeah, yeah. This is a beautiful record that I don't listen to anymore because Mark Kozelek uh is not a nice guy. But if you are okay with listening to Mark Kozelek, as I used to be, this is a gorgeous album. These are solo acoustic versions of Bon Scott era AC/DC songs. It's called "What's Next to the Moon." He does a beautiful version of "If You Want Blood" on here. Really great. Neil Young live record from the Tonight's the Night days, uh, after the Gold Rush. of course, one of Neil Young's very best records, and it came with this insert, which it's big, so I'm gonna have trouble showing it. But it's basically all of the lyrics written in Neil's handwriting. I thought that was really cool. Right. Gatefold. All right. This is, I believe, the only stand-up comedy record I have on vinyl. This is Patton Oswalt's Annihilation, and this is like a very special show. This is the first show that he did coming back from when his wife passed away. And so, Mark Maron kind of went through a similar thing recently where his partner died, and he was like, how do I be a comedian, when I'm feeling this way and dealing with this stuff? How can I tell jokes? And they both, you know, dealt with it in really remarkable ways, I think, and both great specials. But this is definitely my favorite stand-up special that Patton ever did. I really recommend it. I love the Polish Woman of Doom. You should like listen to that routine at least. Charade, one of my favorite film scores, more Henry Mancini, but this is my favorite score that of his that I am aware of that I've heard as of yet. Wonderful movie. All right. The Replacements, Pleased to Meet Me. This is like a big old set, which contains the original mix, the new mix, and then a bunch of CDs in here with um, like demos and rough mixes and songs that didn't make it on the record. And then in the sleeve here, that's where you get the actual record. And then also comes with this lovely booklet, which contains all kinds of cool photographs and notes from the sessions and shit like that. Um, this is REM. It says Bingo Hand Job on it, but this is REM. They were doing like secret concerts around the time that Out of Time came out, like these kind of secret acoustic shows. And they were playing with people. Like I know Billy Bragg did some shows with them and stuff. I don't think any of the like guests are on here, but they do lots of stuff from that era as well as older stuff like Perfect Circle and Swan Swan H, and they do random covers like what Jackson and Moon River, Love Is All Around by the Trogs. It's just a really nice collection. That was a Record Store Day 2 thing as well also. Conor Oberst, Ruminations. He did two versions of this record, Ruminations and Salutations. Like the Jim James record. This is the acoustic kind of solo piano version, and then he did this full band electric version, and they're both very good. But I prefer kind of the solo piano version of the record. It's probably my favorite solo non Bright Eyes record of his. Very pretty. Um, Chinatown Score by Jerry Goldsmith. Eh. This I'm never gonna listen to because it's too beautiful. It's a picture disc of the first 13th Floor Elevators record, the psychedelic sounds of the 13th Floor Elevators. It's just beautiful. I should frame that too. One of my favorite Bob Dylan records, Infidels. This is kind of the first record he made coming out of his Christian period when he was starting to write kind of secular music again. And there's some fantastic stuff on here. There's also some amazing stuff that he cut off this record that, if he'd included it, its reputation would probably be like astronomically higher. But it's a great record all on its own. Check out the version of Joker Man that he did live on Letterman. It's crazy. Um, Rust Never Sleeps, one of my absolute favorite Neil Young records. It's got Powderfinger, which is probably my favorite song of his, and like Pocahontas and Out of the Blue, Into the Black, those songs and all that stuff. It's pretty much a perfect record. There aren't any songs on here that are less than really good, and most of them are great. This is just a random. This is Ulysses by James Joyce. Selections from it, soliloquies of Molly and Leopold Bloom. Um, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is a book that's like all about language and like the rhythm and musicality of language. So having like professional actors read it to me, that kind of appealed to me. This is another one of my favorite Guided by Voices records from their classic, well, from their new lineup. Which How do you spell heaven is what it's called. And this was the album where I was like 100% back on because, this band broke up for the second time. They got back together 2 years later. I was actually at their last show of that classic lineup in 2014. It was at like this little free festival in Toledo. And it was a great show and I had a lot of fun at it, but I also get why it maybe could have bummed him out a little bit. Um, but yeah, so they put out, an album a couple years later that I thought was just kind of okay, decent. But then this fully convinced me like, okay, this band can be great again. They're 100% back. Especially the first side of this, like Birthday Democrats, King 007, Boy W, Steppenwolf Mausoleum, Creedence Number Ones, Diver Dan, How to Murder a Man. It's just like the second side is maybe a little less consistent, but the first side on here is like Space Gun good. More random versions of Smile. This is the first ever bootleg that was released of Smile, and this is the second ever bootleg. And the only difference between them in terms of design is this little stamp up here that says second edition. You got to get as many copies of Smile as you possibly can. It's important. And then we've got Songs of Love and Hate by Leonard Cohen, one of his very best records. And I think this is on white vinyl there. Uh, Oh, and it also comes with, it's got this nice little booklet containing, lyrics and notes about who played what and stuff and things. And then we got my favorite Bruce Springsteen record, Nebraska. And I just got another copy of this too, so I don't know if I'm gonna keep this one, but we'll get to that later. Incredible record. You've probably heard it. If you haven't heard it, please. But yeah, that is it for, I believe, all of the records that I found in my basement. If I left anything out, I'll add them in the second video. But the second video is going to have even more albums than this, so I feel bad